Good morning, girls. In our last class, we discussed about the social factors or the social conditions that led to the rise of the two religions, Jainism and Buddhism. Now, today we'll be learning about Jainism. It was Vardhamana Mahavira's efforts and teachings which transformed Jainism into a popular religion in 6th century BCE. So, like we discussed in the last class, Jainism was founded by Mahavira. It was founded by Vardhamana Mahavira, and it was his efforts and his teachings which changed Jainism into a popular religion. It changed into a popular religion by the 6th century BCE. The teachings of this religion were preached by saints or acharyas called Tirthankaras. So, all the teachings of this religion, they were preached, they were spoken by saints or acharyas who were known as the Tirthankaras. So, the Tirthankaras were the teaching gods of the religion Jainism. It is believed by the Jains that Mahavira had 23 predecessors. So, the believers of Jainism, they believe that Mahavira, he had 23 predecessors. Predecessor means the people who come before the actual person. So, there were 23 other people who came before Mahavira. There were 23 other Tirthankaras who came before Mahavira. Mahavira was the 24th Jain Tirthankara and Rishabhdev was the first. So, out of the 24 Tirthankaras, Mahavira was the last. He was the 24th, the last Tirthankara, whereas Rishabhdev was the first Tirthankara. So, in total, there were 24 Tirthankaras. Early life. Mahavira was born at Kundagrama near Vaishali in Bihar. So, Mahavira, he was born at Kundagrama, which is in Bihar. It is generally accepted that Mahavira was born in the second half of the 6th century BCE. So, it is believed that we do not have a confirmation, we do not have a confirmed date, but it is believed that Mahavira was born in the second half of the 6th century BCE. His father, Siddhartha, was the head of the famous Kshatriya clan and his mother was Trishala. So, he was born to Siddhartha and Trishala. His father, Siddhartha, he was the head of the Kshatriya clan. Clan means it refers to a group of families or a tribe. So, Mahavira's father, Siddhartha, was the head of the Kshatriya tribe and his mother was Trishala. Search for truth. Mahavira abandoned his home at the age of 30 in search of truth and became an ascetic. So, Mahavira, he left his home. Abandon means to leave. So, he left his home at the age of 30 and he went in search of truth. He left home when he was 30. He left home to search for truth. He left home in search of truth and he later became an ascetic. Ascetic is a person who leads a simple life. So, he left his home at the age of 30 in order to lead a simple life. He kept on wandering for 12 long years from one place to another, practicing severe penance and meditation. So, he left at the age of 30 and he wandered for 12 years. Wander means to travel without any aim. So, he traveled aimlessly. He wandered aimlessly for 12 years and during these 12 years, he used to practice severe penance and meditation. Now, penance is a self-imposed punishment. That is where the person punishes himself for his own actions. So, Mahavira, he used to practice penance, that is, he used to punish himself for his own actions, for his own wrongdoings, and he used to also practice meditation during these 12 years. Finally, at the age of 42, he attained spiritual knowledge. So, After wandering for 12 years, and after 12 years at the age of 42, he gained spiritual knowledge. After this, he came to be known as Jinnah or the conqueror, and his followers came to be known as Jains, that is, those who have conquered their desires. So, after acquiring spiritual knowledge, after gaining spiritual knowledge, he came to be known as Jinnah. Now, Jinnah means conqueror, and everyone who followed Jinnah, everyone who followed Mahavira were known as Jains, that is, the people who conquer their desires. So the word Jinnah means conqueror, and the followers of Jinnah were known as Jains, that is, those who have conquered their desires. He passed away at the age of 72 at Pavapuri near modern Rajgir, Bihar. So Mahavira at the age of 72, he passed away at the age of 72 at Pavapuri, which is in Bihar. This is about Mahavira, about his search for truth. He left home in order to search for truth, and he at the age of 42 he gained spiritual knowledge. He meditated for 12 years. He wandered, he meditated, and he practiced self-penance for 12 years, and at the age of 42 he was able to gain spiritual knowledge. Now we'll move on to the teachings of Mahavira. The main teachings of Mahavira are the following. Ahimsa. Mahavira gave utmost importance to ahimsa or non-injury to living beings. So, Mahavira, he gave great importance. Utmost means great importance. So, he gave great importance to ahimsa. Now, what is ahimsa? Ahimsa means non-injury to living beings. That is, ahimsa is the practice of not causing any harm to other people, not causing any harm to other living beings. Jains believed in the existence of soul even in inanimate objects. So, according to Jains, even the inanimate objects means the non-living objects. So, even the non-living, even the inanimate objects, they had soul in them. They had the existence of soul. Soul means spirit. So, even the inanimate objects had a soul, had a spirit in them. So, this is what the Jains believed. So, one should not do harm to living beings by their speech, deed, or action. So, the Jains believed that even the non-living things had soul in them, and so a person should not cause any harm to living beings either by their speech or by their actions. Caste system. Mahavira preached universal brotherhood. So, according to Mahavira, the only caste system was, he did not have any caste system. So, and he preached universal brotherhood. Universal brotherhood, it means it's a concept where you consider the whole world as your own family, where every person is your brother and sister, and the whole world is your family. So, according to Mahavira, the only caste which existed was universal brotherhood. He considered all men equal irrespective of caste or creed. And Mahavira, he did not discriminate any person on the basis of their caste or on the basis of their creed. Creed means belief. So, and every person, according to Mahavira, every person was treated equal. Every man was treated equal. Belief in God and rituals. Mahavira did not believe in God or the Vedas. He opposed all forms of rituals and religious practices. So, Mahavira, he was against all rituals, all religious practices, and all religious ceremonies, and he did not believe in any particular God or in any Vedas. So, this is about his belief. Karma and rebirth. Mahavira believed in the karma theory, according to which a human being is himself responsible for his karmas or actions, and a soul is born again and again because of his karma. So, Mahavira, he believed in the karma theory. Now, what is this karma theory? According to this theory, a person, a human being, he himself is responsible for his actions. He himself is responsible for his karmas, and his soul is born again and again according to his karma. So, the person, an individual himself is responsible. He himself is responsible for his actions, and based on his actions, based on his karmas, he is born again and again. He preached that the ultimate goal of man is to attain freedom from worldly bonds or moksha, that is, freedom from the cycle of birth and rebirth. So, Mahavira used to preach about the ultimate goal. Ultimate means the final, the last and the final goal of man, according to Mahavira, was to attain, was to gain freedom from the worldly bonds. Worldly bonds means from the worldly ties, from anything that ties you to the world, from anything that is that bonds you to the world. So he wanted every individual to gain freedom from those worldly bonds, and this gaining freedom is known as moksha, that is freedom from the cycle of birth and rebirth. It can be obtained by following the three ratnas or three jewels, that is right knowledge, right faith and right action. So according to Mahavira, one could gain freedom from the worldly bonds, or one could attain moksha by following the three ratnas or the three jewels. The three ratnas are known as the three jewels, and these three jewels were right knowledge. A person must have the right form of knowledge. Right faith, he must have the right form of faith, he must have the correct faith, and right action, he must always do right things, he must always do right deeds. So if a person follows these three jewels, these three things, then the person will have freedom, will have moksha. In order to make the soul pure and free from evil, Jainism has laid down 5 great principles to be observed by all. So, according to Jainism, there are 5 principles. There are 5 principles which a person must follow in order to be a pure soul, in order to have a pure spirit, and also in order to be free from any evil thoughts. So, what are these 5 principles? Do not commit violence. So, a person must not commit violence. He must follow ahimsa. That is the first principle. Then, do not tell a lie. Satya. So, a person must not speak lie. He must not tell any lie in order to attain, in order to have a pure soul and to be free from evil. And this is known as Satya. Do not steal. So, a person must not steal. That is asteya. Do not acquire property. That is aparigraha. So the person must not acquire. Acquire means obtain or gain. So the person must not be greedy enough to obtain property, which is aparigraha. Observe brahmacharya. That is chastity. So the person must observe brahmacharya. This is known as chastity. So these are the 5 principles which a person must follow in order to have a pure soul, in order to have a pure spirit, and also in order to be free from all evil, from any evil thoughts. So these are the teachings of Mahavira. So the teachings of Mahavira, the first teaching was ahimsa. Then the caste system. He talked about universal brotherhood. Then belief in gods and rituals. He was against all gods. He was against the Vedas. He was against the gods. Then his teaching was about the karma and rebirth. So according to Mahavira, a person's karma or a person's actions are responsible for his for his soul, and his soul is born again and again according to his karma. So these are the 4 principles, these are the 4 teachings of Mahavira. So today we learnt about the early life of Mahavira, about his search for truth, and also about the teachings of Mahavira. So we'll stop for today, girls. Thank you.